Are you a cheapskate just like me? Do you spend your time looking at the menu for the prices because you don't want to spend too much? Well, you came to the right place. Welcome to Solo Quest, and today we're going to talk about how much does it cost to eat out in Shenzhen, China. And at the very end of the video, we're going to have a secret topic on how to reduce the cost of eating out by 50%. So please do click on that like and comment down below. That way I can fulfill my ego and brag to my friend about that 10 comments that I have. First, let's talk about the liquids. If you are thirsty, you don't want to drink that tap boiled water, you can order yourself a bottle of water which costs around 2 to 5 RMB. And as for tea, you're looking about 10 RMB up to 30 RMB. It depends on what kind of tea you want. Now, as for alcoholic beverages, that just ranges through a lot. If you just want something out of like the cooling machine, something that is cheap, you're spending about like 5 kwai up to like 10 kwai, depending on where you are. And as for your standard cocktail, you're looking at around 40 renminbi up to 70 renminbi. All right, now, usually I leave the secret till the end of the video, but let me tell y'all on how to get 50% off your meal. And that is through Meituan tickets or either Douyin tickets. Usually, most of the time, you can buy these tickets, and after that, you can get yourself a set of meal. Usually, if you buy things one by one, things are gonna be a lot more pricey. But if you buy it in packs, that is buy tickets, then things are going to be a lot more cheaper and you get to know what their specialty is as well. So throughout the whole video, I'll be talking about 3 prices. First is the single person price, second is the duo price with a ticket, and third is a group price also with the ticket. A lot of the time, the restaurant in Shenzhen, China provide ticket through Douyin, TikTok, or either Meituan. So let's talk about the heart of Shenzhen. Those are the night market. What are some of the things that you can find? Mostly hearty, oily food. First, let's talk about the mini stalls that they have. Some people sell their food through wagons, through backpacks, through carriage as well. You'd be spending mostly about 8 renminbi up to 20 renminbi per person. And just multiply that by 2 or by 4 depending on how many people that you have. And these night market, usually they don't have tickets for Douyin and Meituan, etc. You just have to pay whatever price that they have over there. But again, it's not that expensive, so you don't really need that much discount. As for the next one are these outdoor restaurant and mom and pop shop. These usually open around 6 p.m. all the way to midnight because these are places where a lot of business people go to after work to get their dinner. These places are amazing places to get dinner because they are very hearty, because you can order whatever you want. There's a lot of things in the menu. If you feel like eating tofu, they got it. If you got shrimp, they got it too. Porridge, whatever you want. It's just like your typical food that you find in your typical Chinese kitchen. You'd be looking at around 25 renminbi per person and also 50 renminbi for 2 people, and sometimes 40 or even less. Now, if you're looking for a group, this is the best place to go to because these places are cheap if you want to eat as a group. You'd be spending about like 100 renminbi for around 3 people or either 150 for 6 people. Really cheap stuff. Next one, fast food restaurant. Your typical McD, Wallace, and also Burger King, whatever you want to name it, they do have it here. You'd be spending about 25 up to 45 RMB in these restaurants. And they do have a special dollar menu, which costs around 12 RMB, but now they increased it to 13 RMB. God dang inflation. And as for the other counterpart, the local Chinese fast food restaurant is a lot cheaper. You'd be spending about 15 RMB up to 25 RMB per person. And just multiply that by 2 or either 4, depending if you are a couple or either a group. Next, typical family restaurant. These are places that you find in the mall, on the side of the street. Of course, I'm gonna group these in with Western typical family restaurant as well, or either international family restaurant like a Sazeria. These all almost have the same price because these are just like a regular restaurant that you find in China. I'm not gonna name it all because China have a lot of food. I'm just gonna group these in as just typical family restaurant. But how much you be spending as a single person? A lot of the time, people don't come here alone. They come in either couples or either in group because they can get a cheaper prices, and plus it's part of the Chinese culture as well to eat together. But if you still want to go alone, and usually people still do because sometimes people go to the office and they want to get lunch, usually you'd be spending about like 30 renminbi up to 40 renminbi per person. Although they do have a lunch special, which you'd be spending around 25 up to 30 renminbi. But for 2 people, you're spending about 50 up to 70 renminbi, and you're looking about 100 through 200 renminbi for 2 to 3 people with the ticket, or either around 200 up to 250 for 3 to 4 people. It's not a bad price at all. Now, as for the last one, let's talk about the fancy restaurant. Of course, the price really varies for these fancy restaurants depending on where you want to go to. And I can't really give out a price, but for a single person of omakase, you're looking about 700 RMB. And if you want to go to like a bistro, you're looking at around 500 RMB per person, depending on what kind of steak you want. But yeah, in conclusion, you'd be okay by spending around $150 up to $250 per month on just straightly eating out from breakfast all the way to dinner, which is approximately around 1,500 RMB up to 1,800 or maybe even more. Check out this playlist right over here. This right here is a step-by-step guide on how to survive in Shenzhen, China. Now, if you have a friend that is planning to go to Shenzhen or China in general, do share this to them as well, and it'll make me happy and them happy at the same time. That way I get more views. Yeah, that's about it.